Hi there, welcome to the first in the series of vetting videos for the Workload Profiler for Vetting tool. This short video will provide a brief overview of the Workload Profiler for Vetting. Within this we will discuss what it is, what does the tool do, why is it important. We'll step through each of the areas within the tool. We'll look and demonstrate the key reports and then signpost areas for further help, i.e. your help desk and user guide. So what is it? The vetting tool is a bespoke model that allows users to demonstrate resource requirements for vetting teams, test alternative processes and working practices, create shift patterns, and really the key benefits revolve around being able to produce reliable and consistent quantifiable resource requirements. So consistent because it uses a standardized approach and it gives the ability for users to use the tool with minimal training. It also helps to determine costs required for a department or show where backlogs or under-resource may occur. So I'm going to jump into the tool now. So Workload Profiler vetting model. So this is the interface that the users will use. So I'm going to click on from the home, configure. The first thing we're going to look at is the guide. Now, the guide has a couple of things that are worth noting. The first is the colors. So the colors that we use within the model indicate to the user what type of data the model is expecting. So where you see green, that's an area where you must enter data, through to the purple where data is self-generated by the code within the model. The second piece in this comes down to the area where we said this is a test, or the general information about the model. This gives the user the ability to track changes to their models, so understanding what scenario we're looking at, what are the key assumptions, what has been used within the model. So that's the configuration sheets. Onto activity types. Within the activity types, we have the ability to specify up to 10 different types of activities. So receipt, research, decide, admin, advice, other, and appeals. These are the 7 that have been locked down for the vetting model to assist in the future benchmarking. However, there are 3 additional types that you could be added if you require. So if there's something that your team do that is slightly bespoke, able to put these in under 8, 9 and 10. So that's the piece there for activity types. Following on from activity types, we have resource types. So different types of resources that may be used within vetting: supervisor, manager, analyst, caseworker, PC, officer, admin, plus some space for some others if your team uses them. So within this we have the resource description, so what they do, the current number of people and the cost for them. The paid hours, so generally that's going to be 1930 for staff and a slightly different number for PCs, slightly higher because they're doing the 40 hours a week. So paid hours in green there. The next thing we look at is the functioning hours. So the functioning hours are the paid hours less any abstractions, and that gets you to the functioning hours. Also on this we've got decision maker, so do these people make the decisions, being able to say yes or no throughout. So that's the resource types. Onto loss types. So loss types are very much around just different types of abstraction, and these can be whole shift losses or in shift losses. So things like a vacancy factor, leave, sickness, absence, training, breaks, general in shift losses, other departments. There's also 2 other activity types that are in there that could be used particularly for your department if you have different losses that are not covered here. Delivery allows the user to specify the way in which work is done. So what we've got here is a profile. So in this Monday to Friday 9 to 5 profile, work is only being done, as we say, between Monday and Friday 9 to 5. So there's no work being done at the weekend or in the evenings. So understanding how that plays out, depending on the types of work that's coming in, some of it might be Monday to Friday 9 to 5, some of it might be required to be done at other times. So that concludes the configuration side. Onto the demand side, we have work streams. In the demand work stream, so we have up to 20 different types of work streams, and each of these are a type of demand that comes in. So the one that we'll focus on in terms of as we run through will be recruitment vetting. So in this case, we've got 864 of these. We're going to include 100% of those in our model, so the demand that goes into our model is 864 per year. We could give these numbers a priority, so one work stream might be more important than others, and we can make some comments in there if we wanted to. So that is the work streams that they make up the demand that comes into the unit. In terms of process, each work stream has a set of processes that are built up in order to do that. So on the demand, we were talking about the work stream. In terms of recruitment vetting, to do one item of recruitment vetting, there are various processes that need to be applied. So within process specify, I've got RV, which is the recruitment vetting, and what we'll see is there are 31 different processes that go on in terms of being able to do this. So once again, RV, recruitment vetting, the 31 process steps, ranging from the receipt through the research, decisions, and admin. So for each of these activities, it sits within an activity group, there's a likelihood of doing it. So every form that comes in has to be checked, and it's done by one person, takes about 2 minutes, and it's done by always done by the caseworker. And that's fine, that the likelihood of that is always 100%. However, what we know is that sometimes, in this case 40% of times, we need to return and correct the form, and the caseworker would do that 40% of occasions, taking 15 minutes. So building up this process all the way through recruitment vetting, understanding how many people are required at all the points, gives us an understanding of the processes involved. So we see up here on the in the purple in the top right hand corner, the total time spent to do one item of recruitment vetting is 5.9 hours or 354.5 minutes. So 5.9 hours per is the weighted, as it says here, weighted sum of the likelihoods multiplied by the staff and the duration. So that's the processes that are applied, and for each work stream there could be slightly different processes as we go through. Onto the resources side of things. So resource abstraction. So we have, for the analyst, the different types of abstraction they will have. So there might be some vacancies. We have annual leave, public holiday, sickness, maternity, paternity, secondments, any training that's done, as well as the in-shift losses in there. So in another video we'll talk about how we specify these and split them out. Loss summary shows the summary of the losses made by each of the resource types. So as we'll see here, that the supervisor has an abstraction rate of 71.5%, the officer at 37.5%, and then the rest are pretty much around 26%. So we can see that here, and that shows the losses. Why the supervisor got such higher losses? Well, they're helping other departments, higher in-shift losses as well. So we are able to see where those losses stem from. The next thing we're going to look at is the reports. So starting off with the workstream hours. The workstream hours says, okay, as we saw, recruitment vetting took 5.9 hours per item. Overall, that equates to 5,105 hours worth of work that is required there. So for each of the work streams, when these are filled out, we'll be able to see how much time has been associated with each work stream. Work stream by resources then breaks things down. Just a second there. So looking at the recruitment vetting, there are 3 types of resource used: the manager, the analyst, and the caseworker. In this case, of the 5,105 hours, the vast majority of that's been done by the analyst. It's costing around £80,000 a year to do this work, and it's taking 3.6 people worth of work to do that work stream. What we can then see is, how does the number of managers, the number of analysts and caseworkers compare to the number of people we actually have and the utilization rate of these resources. So onto the activities by resource. Activities by resource report breaks down each of the activities and says, okay, how much time are we spending researching, administrating, decision making, etc., and who's doing it. So where is the time being spent? Activity by work stream. This is used in one of our other products called Ramp, but understanding how many people's worth of work is being done for each of the work streams. So in this case, 5.9 people's worth of work required for recruitment vetting. Work stream by activity. At this point, we start to see how many hours are being spent on each of the activity types. So a lot of the recruitment vetting, a lot of the time is being spent on the research rather than admin, decisions or receipts. So understanding how that works. That's quite interesting when it comes to looking at streamlined processes. So there's a question there of if you were looking to make recruitment vetting faster or quicker, you might be looking and saying, well, actually, can we make our research tasks speedier, or looking to streamline that type of work. Task Pareto, how are resources spending their time? So the analyst within the analyst doing the work for the recruitment vetting, understanding how their time is broken down. So a lot of it is in admin, but also in research as well. So there's an admin task plus research going on. That's how they would spend their time throughout the year. Delivery by resource. At this point, we're using a flat profile, but it will be able to see how that changes based on different people. So at this point, the PC doesn't have to do anything within the tasks that are in there. However, the caseworker or the analyst would. So you would see how that work builds out. Delivery by work stream. Similarly, we'd be able to see for a work stream when is the tasks being required to be done. One of my favourite reports, what we call the swim lanes. So we're able to see how the process works as we go through for recruitment vetting. So showing the swim lanes, showing who's doing the work and what tasks are required as we go through them. So quite interesting to understand the process map there. Finally, we have the priority-based budgeting, or PBB, allows users to assign a priority to different work streams to understand the costs associated, and in times where budgets are tight, how to prioritize the work that's been done. So for example, just now, the cumulative cost of the two work streams that have been populated is £106,957. If, for example, we knew that the team only had the budget for £100,000, then we know that we'd be able to do all the recruitment vetting, but the management vetting at this point might not be done. However, if someone were to say management vetting is more important than recruitment vetting, you would then be able to do that prioritization and see what would fully be done and what would be left with tasks outstanding. Finally, there is a piece that allows us to export to Zymes. So that's a tool we use for shift planning and also importing from other reports. So that's the model that we have been using. So what I want to just finish with is a quick overview of process evolution. So we have the help desk, which if you do require assistance, you can raise a ticket. So processevolution.co.uk, support, and from the support section, you'll be able to pick up the ability to open a new ticket for some assistance. Generally, we get back to you within 24 hours in any tickets raised Monday to Friday. The final piece I want to speak to you about was the help. So we've had the help desk and then the user guide that will come along with this. The user guide, not only will it have how-to sections throughout, but we'll give the definitions on the tool. So that's been our first video, the overview for Workload Profiler for vetting. Within the next videos, we will go into more detail for each of the sections. Thank you.